all the time. But let's pivot right quick, right? Talk about the police that morning. Can you tell me about the police that did that came to do the missing persons report?
Yes, I could tell you all about him. Freaky Jason.
That's what we call him, Freaky Jason.
Freaky Jason.
That's crazy.
So
tell me about it.
weird thing, right? So he used to try to, the police, the actual plainclothes cop that came there to take the missing person report, he used to try to holler at me. You know, I seen him out downtown, nice looking fella, tall.
After he came to do the thing, or used to try to holler at you before?
This was before.
So you recognized him when he came to do the report?
I recognized him. So he, you know, I was young, so he tried to holler at me. He seen me downtown, and then one other time he seen me, you know, riding. He was on the side of me, you know. And then another time, I was pulling up at my granny house on 4th and Burleigh, and he pulled up behind me. And then he got out the car, and he tried to talk to me then, and I looked. I'm like, this is the same person. You know, so I didn't even really know he was a cop, you know. And then when Alexis disappeared, and I called the police, they didn't never come. So I went down there on 49th, the 3rd district, and they sent somebody, and the person that they sent just so happened to be him. So if you're working on Locust, I don't know if you were working on Locust or on Burleigh or downtown area, but why are you up here on 49th and Garfield? You see, so that was like weird to me, but however, he ended up talking to LaRon, and when I got the police report that he wrote up, everything he wrote was lies. Wasn't nothing that he wrote about my daughter's missing report was accurate.
Right. Can you tell me about it? Like the lies, how do you lie?
So when he talked to LaRon, now let me rewind. Keep in mind, my ex-husband was involved with a police officer killing. This is before I knew him, so this is like 8 years before Alexis disappeared. So he was involved with a police officer killing. I didn't even know him then. He, I think he immunity or something like that. When he told on the guy, the other brother, so he walked away straight free, scot free. So I'm sure that the police had a problem with him. I knew this when she came up missing. I knew that the police had a problem with him, and I knew this when she came up missing because the same detectives that was on his case, LaRon said they were on Alexis' case. So I want to get to that, and then I'll get back to the. Okay,
same detectives that was on the murder case, the police murder case.
Ronald Head.
The same detectives that was on Alexis Patterson case.
That was on Alexis' case.
Okay.
And my ex-husband knew that. I didn't know that.
Did he tell you?
Yes, he didn't just tell me. He left. He came, so they were interrogating LaRon in one room, and they were interrogating me in another room. Separated us. LaRon came up out of that room, came in, and got his wife, and said, "Let's go." Grabbed my hand, and we walked out of there together. Because LaRon said, "No, these are the same cops that was on Alexis' case. I mean, that was on Ronald Head's case."
Did you ever raise that issue to, like, I don't know, is it possible to talk to any higher ups, like over those detectives, and tell them about that? Because, like, I feel like that would be like a, what would they call it? Like,
bias.
It is definitely a bias in there. It's definitely a bias in there. That wasn't quite the word I was looking for. It'll probably come up to me, but yeah, bias is basically it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would be upset about their own being unalive. You know what I mean? So maybe we ain't gonna investigate this too tough. I'm thinking at this point, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Right.
That's after all these years. That's what I found out. They wasn't really investigating my daughter.
Right.
Case.
So they never did no follow-ups with you after that. They never called you and told you what they may have done. Were they telling you? Oh, that's a lot of questions. Maybe
I'm picking up what you
okay. Were they telling you what they have done? Any steps they take? Did they tell you any steps they took on you?
Are you saying in the beginning?
Yeah, back then.
Well, I think so wait, let me get it clear. You have the white cops, the Caucasians, and then you have the brown cops, the copper. You have Chief Arthur Jones,
right,
and you have the Milwaukee chief detective or whatever, lieutenant over this side. They had a problem with Arthur Jones. You understand? Because I know why. They had a problem with Chief Arthur Jones because I believe he knew what they were on. So that's why, and it wasn't Sheriff David Clark. Why people talking about Sheriff David Clark had her riding around. You don't even know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah, the monkey. However, it was Chief Arthur Jones who protected me and made sure that me and my family was okay. We knew exactly what was going on. You understand what I'm saying?
So he was pretty much keeping you up to date
yes.
with everything.
And he looked me in my face and he promised me. He said, "I'm gonna do everything I can do. I'm gonna bring your daughter home."
Right. Well,
see?
apparently he didn't.
He didn't. Right. But the detectives that was on the case, going back to what you were saying, all they ever was trying to do was build a case. They used my daughter, and I'm not using the word allegedly because I know they did. They used my daughter's case to take drug dealers down. You understand? Not only did they use her case to take drug dealers down, they was telling people that if you have any information about Alexis Patterson, you will get out of jail scot-free. You won't go to jail and this and that. So people were taking advantage of that.
Right.
And these is where all these stories
So this where the LaRon bourgeois rumors come from about him taking some drugs or something from somebody.
That and other things.
Right.
Like it was so.
Well, I'm asking that because you said they was trying to take some drug dealers down. So I'm asking, like, is this the connection what you talking about?
That's the connection. That's the connection.